The following contains violence, coarse language, and adult situations not suitable for minors. Viewer discretion is advised.
Brutal!
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Wandering Tavern. We are returning to finish the chapter, which doesn't look like we have too much left, but I'm sure it'll take us at least an hour to get through.
Yeah.
Joining us today, we have our friend Cedar.
Hi.
We also have,
It's a double meeting.
I am also joined by my usual cohort, Caesar.
Yo.
And I am at present currently actually uploading our first ever video to rumble.com, which will be the first chapter of this fan fiction.
Oh. When you said first video, I thought you meant first video with your original co-host.
No, I don't think I have the archive of that one going back that far. If I need to, I can probably get it off YouTube, but
It's too dated. I mean, you were talking
not
about
really. A lot of what we've said in that video has either come true or stayed pretty. It has aged very well.
You guys talked about the things that were topical in 2019.
2019.
Jesus, I forgot we've been doing this for almost 3 years.
God damn.
All right. Well, so let's just start with this paid break because I think this is about where we ended anyway.
Oh yeah, I remember. Okay.
Because remember, we were talking about how lazy it was that Lilly basically ended a scene with her OC going to sleep.
Yeah, the worst way to end. No, you end it when the thought and the point is done. And I'm gonna sneeze, so keep reading.
Should we recap what happened last time?
So what happened last time is, so Lilly Orchards OC looks like this. Fought Kylo Ren.
That fucking pose.
Despite being, trained for years by Skywalker, one of the premier, best lightsaber duelists who ever hit the galaxy. And trained by Palpatine himself, hands down one of the best lightsaber duelists in the galaxy. Kylo Ren proceeded to get his ass kicked somehow. And I say somehow, not in the sense that we're not sure how it happened. It was very obvious how it happened. It's just that it's written in.
Are you doing all right over there? From my perspective, or from my side, it sounds like you're lisping.
You're kind of far away from your mic, I think.
All right, is that better? Do I sound better now? Okay. I might also be lisping slightly. Not sure.
Lisping. This is what you sound like right now.
My stapler.
Me? Maybe I'm doing it and I don't even realizing it.
He took my stapler.
Oh, maybe I'm gonna burn down the building.
Thank you, Cedar, for getting that reference. It was just like, this is probably the funniest I've ever been, and nobody.
No, I got it. I know what you're saying. Oh fucking, holy shit! I haven't seen that in so long. I need to actually watch that goddamn film now that I've worked in a corporate office. It's exactly like the movie. Anyway.
Yes. All right. Rey's eyes snapped open, and she suddenly jerked upright in her hammock. She was unsure as to what it was that actually woke her. Not a nightmare. That was for certain.
At least none that she could remember. I think we read this, but we'll keep reading it. No, this was more of a.
At least
Oh.
none she could immediately remember. No, a bad feeling. They remember the sequel trilogy describes
Is that happening for you too, Caesar?
It's feeling. Huh?
Yeah, you're cutting off, man.
Oh God, I thought that was me. No,
Okay.
Clayton, no,
Nope.
you're getting really robot
No,
body.
it's not you. It's probably the. There we go. Okay, I'll upload all of that later. And I don't want to.
Oh, you're trying to upload and stream.
Let me. Yeah. Yeah.
And Clayton died. So how are you, Cedar?
It's very high. Oh yeah, I'm just chilling like a villain.
Hopefully, I can get myself drunk this time.
I know. I can't believe you did it. Oh gosh.
I guess I had too much food in my system or something.
Alright,
You need to drink
hello?
more. You just need to open the. Hello, Clayton.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes. For the time being.
Perfect.
Well, we'll have to start
My
from
phone is
the top.
on 35%. So let me real quick go grab my charger, and one of you can read.
Sure, I'll do it while he's away. Go. Ray's eyes snapped open as she suddenly jerked upright in her hammock. She was unsure as to what it was that actually woke her. Not a nightmare, that was for certain. At least none that she could immediately remember. No, this was more of a bad feeling.
Hey, she said the thing.
I know, and I made it better. It actually says, no, this is more of a bad feeling. Fuck you. This could faintly recall the awful sound of scraping plasma and the smell of burnt steel. It's so descriptive. Pulling herself out of her hammock, she rubbed her head and tried to process what she was feeling, and felt something sink into the pit of her stomach as her gut told her it came from the... What the fuck? This is so many compound sentences. It goes on for 2 full lines. Okay, so this is the sentence. Pulling herself out of her hammock, she rubbed her head and tried to process what she was feeling, and felt something sink into the pit of her stomach, as her gut told her it came from the direction of the Fury, where she'd met that girl.
Was she?
That's one
what
sentence.
A sentence.
Yeah. I know, I'm getting fucking
She's
slapped in the
communicating
face.
so many ideas with this.
I know, it feels like a paragraph flew by.
Like, okay, so we have Ray pulling herself out of her hammock, rubbing her head and processing what she's feeling bad feelings sink into her gut, to her stomach.
As at the same time that her gut told her it came from that direction of the Fury, a very specific direction of this very specific object, where indeed she met that girl.
And then asks the question, was she okay? Good Lord.
Was she okay? I don't even...
This is one thought right there. One thought. Pulling herself out of her hammock, she rubbed her head and tried to process what she was feeling.
Yes.
Done.
Done.
And
period.
Then her gut, and then just this
she
is
felt
superfluous.
She felt something.
This is entirely superfluous.
Oh, yeah.
Her gut told her it came from the direction of the Fury where she had met that girl. Why is this written this way? Like, Lily, why where she'd met that girl? Aliana told Ray her name.
Yeah, also she didn't have to say she. It's where she met that girl is still correct, because she's abbreviating where she had met that girl, which is passive language. So just taking off the apostrophe D would make it better.
Was she in danger? There was a cold, sinking feeling in her stomach. Again, we've already know that she's something in like Ray's got a bad feeling. Like this has already been established. This entire paragraph so far has been just superfluous. The only new information the reader has come across is where Ray feels the bad feeling coming from.
It has something to do, yeah, so it could have been a sentence. Oh, yeah. There was a cold, sinking feeling in her stomach. Well, she just said that. Okay, no, she's repeating it from the. You could take the sink to the pit of her stomach with there was a cold, sinking feeling in her stomach. She just repeated herself at the thought of anything happening to her, which she tried desperately to push down as she gathered her things. There were plenty of components to salvage, and she wasn't about to waste it. There are plenty of components to salvage, and she wasn't about to waste it worrying about someone she barely knew. Waste
What?
it? That, like...
What?
It feels like it's trying to reference the day. Like, there's plenty of day left, and she wasn't about to waste it worrying about someone she barely knew. But change it to components to salvage. And
it feels like there was probably more to this paragraph, but upon an edit, this was like mention of what time it was removed. Like it feels like there's something missing here and was removed in an edit, but instead of rewriting the sentence to make sense, it was just left that way.
They copy paste. They search replaced it. Gathering her stuff, her net, and her facial. Fuck. You don't have to say her. No, it's gathering her staff, her net, and her facial protection. Ray made her way to the speeder. Climbing into the seat. Okay, look. Fuck. You have too many prepositions. Stop it. Okay. Start with a noun now. Okay. Gathering her staff, her net, and her facial protection, Ray made her way to the speeder. Climbing into the seat, she steeled herself and devoted her entire focus on going to work. She was accustomed to shifting her concentration to scavenging in order to discard whatever complicated feelings she was having. I'm wordy, and this is wordy. What the fuck? It did her no good to dwell on them, not when she had to survive.
So many issues.
She's repeating herself 5 million times, and
gathering her staff, her net, and her facial protection.
Hold on a sec, guys. I'll be right back.
You have to say her before each of them, and the rhythm.
Her staff, net, and facial protection. Ray made her way to the speeder, not, I guess, not her speeder, which would imply that she owns it.
You know what? You know why they changed it. It says they had already the her. Ray made her way to her speeder. They're like, no, I can't say her that many times, and so they changed it to this, to the. That's what I bet.
I would not take that bet. And then this weird way that Ray seems to just tamp down whatever, like this weird line of Ray's. Like, what is it? Like, okay, so her concentration to scavenging, and she was accustomed to shifting her concentration to scavenging. But that like, why would she be feeling complicated? I guess this is to be about like, it's not it's that Ray constantly thinks about when her parents are coming back. And that leads to complicated emotion she doesn't want to deal with on the job.
Did I make any sense of what I was saying earlier?
Yes. You've done well so far. Yes.
Okay, I thought I wasn't making sense. And I just wanted to spin because I'm like, oh my god, when I hear this back, I'm just gonna be like, bro, like stars are like shiny. And about that level of insight and what's going on here.
Not when she had to survive. She knows she got like a bunch of ration packs, like 30 of them from this lady, and she's just like, why would I go to work? I gotta go to work today. Basically, the only thing she earns by scavenging it is food.
Yeah.
Like that's established in the movie. The only thing she gets out of the deal is food and possibly shelter. We don't really know.
I think it's implied that she made her own shelter in that.
Possible. Definitely possible. But
yeah.
Like but now she has to survive. But she's only working for food. So if someone comes along and hands you food enough to last you for several months, why would you work?
Oh, yeah. It's not like she can buy fucking Yeezys and Xbox 360s. Like, it's just food.
Yeah.
So, like, having a surplus, what the fuck? Having a surplus of money to get luxuries isn't a thing here, so there's no reason to keep working.
The only reason you would work is because you'll starve to death if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
But now that situation for Ray, at the very least, has been resolved. So why is she working? She has no incentive. Disposable income clearly isn't something that's here. So why is Ray working? And survive she did. This is how the paragraph starts. Good God.
No, and survive she did. She managed to beat her personal pest and personal pest. She is a pest. On valuable components pulled from each wreckage of the Star Destroyer. Wait a second. Beat her personal best. What?
On whose terms? By what metric?
Yeah, like whose metric is, I guess, her personal best? Like, are you like, oh yes, 10,000 francs? Fucking...
Yeah, but usually, like, if you have a personal best on something, it's usually when you've done very, very well, such that there's a goal that you have.
Yeah, does she have like quotas?
Yeah, these are questions brought up by Lilly, not the movie.
Did they fucking
the movie makes it very clear.
Employee of the month or scavenger of the month?
I guess.
And to celebrate, they do pizza parties. Except they're just the powder pizzas. They gotta like tear it open.
Fabulous! My pizza's been picked up.
Wait, really?
Huh? Yes, I got a mod pizza.
Oh, that's so good. Mod pizza.
Mod pizza. It's pepperoni, parmesan, ricotta, and mozzarella.
Ah, hella!
It's so good.
Where from? Like a chain, or did you find like a great little hole in the wall?
I don't know if it's chain. It might be. It's called Mod Pizza, like MOD Pizza.
No, I haven't heard of that.
It might only be here in San Antonio. This is the only place I've ever heard it.
It might be a little thing because, like, we just ordered pizza tonight from a pizza place that's like a hole in the wall. It does mostly like Mediterranean food, but they also sell pizzas, and they're so fucking good, and the same price as all the shitties around here. And my Little Caesars, that's less than a minute from my house, is so famously slow and backed up now that there's actual news footage that a guy went and came in with a gun so he would get his hot and ready pizza faster.
Damn.
Not even kidding. And then we were looking at it, and I'm like, wait, this looks familiar. And it showed us the sign, and it said our street name. And we're like, oh, shit. I don't remember cops going over there because the man pulled like an AK-47 for his motherfucking crazy bread.
Did he at least pay for the pizza?
No. But they didn't have any pizza to pay for.
You gonna argue with the man with the AK-47? Really?
No, that's
Really,
the thing.
Caesar?
Be like, that's a.
You gonna be like, you need to pay?
Oh, cheapskate! He didn't even leave a tip with that gun. Okay.
She knew Plut would rip her off, but she kept some of the most valuable parts. Her encounter with Eliana the day before had taught her to hold certain things, as there may be ways to get better prices for them later.
Oh.
She stashed a high-capacity fuel converter and a tiny shard of kyber into a small component in her speeder, and hung the rest on the side. She was right. Plut did undersell her, but thankfully she hadn't given up on the converted or the kyber. She took her quarter portion and left. It was still food, and she'd rather not burn all the ration packs that Eliana had given her unless she really needed them on days when she couldn't get anything of value. Okay, so that's relatively sensible. But if you're only ever eating a quarter portion of a single ration pack, then 30 times 4 is quite a lot of ration packs. Assuming you eat 1 to 2 a day. You're not going to be like again, Ray has no incentive to work for at least 1 to 2 months.
Right? And she needed OC to teach her basic economics, and she stumbled across a kyber crystal, which is like stumbling across a nuclear bomb. That would be a big fucking deal.
Yeah. Also, she just takes she just assumes Plut's gonna undersell her.
Yeah, so she can get better prices from them later, kind of implies that there's other people she could sell it to. But if there's other people that she could sell to, and she knows Plut undersells her, why the fuck is she still selling?
Why does she continue to go to Plut? In the movie, it's implied that Plut is their only option. He's the guy with the go-to. But I guess there's other people that might be selling or might be buying things.
Selling that weed.
Her mind wandered back to Eliana. The girl gave Ray an even better deal than she promised when she came back to her shelter and realized that she possessed double the agreed upon portions. But it all but baffled her as to why she did that. That much food couldn't just be given away on a whim. Why would she willingly part with so many supplies? Perhaps there was indeed kindness and generosity left in the galaxy outside of Jakku. It made part of her wish that she had just asked Eliana for a ride out of there, at least to the nearest spaceport. Okay? Why not? That's a major issue with Rey's character just in general, is why does she stay on Jakku?
She's waiting for her parents to come back.
Yeah, no, actually, that's one thing. So this is right around the time when she wouldn't shut the fuck up about her parents, and yet in her internal dialogue, her parents have not come up once.
Yeah, but
that's the cinema sin.
Literature Devil, I watched a video by him. I think he published it a couple days ago, but it was essentially how to fix Rey by changing one thing.
Oh, I think I saw the thumbnail for that.
Yeah, I've seen some of it myself.
And it was the only thing he changed was, instead of Rey wanting to stay on Jakku, why doesn't she just leave? Why, instead of being sort of this weird anti oh, I believe they're coming back for me kind of mentality, she's like, okay, my parents have abandoned me here to live this awful life. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go find myself a better life.
Oh, she actually wanted something, concrete. She had an I Want song where we understand that Hercules wants to be a hero. But instead she does nothing?
How to be a hero. Oh, Belle wants to see what's out there in the world.
Yeah. Because she never had a single fucking want. She just
Harry,
reacted to
yeah,
things.
exactly. What does Ray want? And nobody can
She
really
want
answer
that
that.
ebony boy. That's what she want. Wait, she remained. Well, I guess no. She actually liked the skinny white boy. Damn. Damn, what a fucking tragedy.
Well, keep in mind this is Lilly Orchards fan fiction. In this continuity, she's a lesbian.
Oh yeah, there's no heterosexuality in not in
There.
Lily's land.
I mean, fanfiction land in general, it's hard to find that heterosexuality that doesn't involve terrible OCs. But
Uh-huh. No, actually it's pretty easy. You just put it in the tag. AOC has some pretty good tag system.
it does. I wish other sites had it. Like, so bad.
Because then you can just like look up tag block. Never ever have impreg show up before my eyes again.
Exactly. But
Or
Ray shook her head at that notion. Ray disapproves of your impreg fanfiction.
Well, good. If Ray hates it, then maybe it's actually fun.
No.
She couldn't leave yet. She needed to stay put. As unfortunate as her situation was over the years, she knew it would be worth it when they came back, and she knew they would come back. They had to.
But why?
Of all the places to leave your child, why on a planet that uses borderline slave labor?
And
It's
when Ray's parents fly off into the sunset, she looks to be about like what, 7?
younger.
Younger?
Well, actually, I don't know. She gave me like the 4 to 5-year-old whiny. I don't know, but I'm also really not good at kids' age, so.
Yeah, so like very young. So she's got like all of her teen years on this rock. All of it spent working day in, day out just to survive. And she is not a bitter loner that hates and mistrusts people because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
Which is
clearly,
That's how I'd rewrite Ray. Just make her pretty antisocial, kind of resentful around other people.
Well, no, it's one word really. What Ray should have been was a junk goblin. And just whatever comes in your mind when you think junk goblin, that's what she should have been. That should have been her personality.
She stabs people for junk.
Yeah, she's very protective of junk because that's all her life. That's the most valuable thing for her. And instead of, she should have been trying to pawn the fuck out of BB-8.
yeah,
Like,
it's
slightly weird because she just wants junk.
it's weirder that Ray is sort of this perfect being out of a situation that would have instilled values of inherently selfishness and mistrust.
Yeah,
She's walking around like literally the fucking tangled Rapunzel with like the innocent blowy eyes, but she has to have that girl power, so doesn't actually fail at the things she does.
Yeah, if you look, just look at it in real life. Like a lot of people who grow up with a parent who walked out on them, they tend to have issues.
A parent, not even both parents, but
yeah,
I mostly hate the fact.
For Ray, both of her parents walked out, and she's forced to live a life of constant labor. So yeah, it's only natural she'd be very bitter towards people.
But what I hate here is that she couldn't leave. She needed to stay put because it would be worth it when they came back. What about it would be worth it? Please go into more detail so we can actually relate to your character. Is it because the warmth and the family would be it? The help? Like go into detail. Why? I don't know this Ray. Why will it be
Generally-
worth it?
Yeah, exactly. Generally speaking, despite it mostly being entirely headcanon, entirely in the author's own head, I like fan fiction for the fact that it can take minor characters and develop them, essentially.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah. I mean,
enjoy that fact. This is taking what is effectively Rey, a blank slate of a character, and doing nothing with her.
yeah, yeah. I do nothing with it, and like, you're not using your creativity. Like, there's a lot of people who would write fan fiction because it's low risk. You don't have to make up something original completely from scratch, so it's easier on the mind. But then, like, you can practice writing actual real good things where you go into things and actually would be something like a book. It doesn't necessarily like have to be terrible. Like, don't, if you could, basically what I'm saying, if you can write better, fucking write better. Don't get lazy because it's just fan fiction. Like, fuck, dude. Come on, have some dignity.
Rey took her speeder back to the downed AT-AT she called home and set about preparing her meal. Okay, so, all right, this is a desert planet, so real estate's got to be premier. As in, if you can find something to shelter you from the freezing cold at night and the blazing sun during the day, you are, like, you're basically in great shape. How is it that no one has, like, fought Rey for this? Like, Rey should be, for all intents and purposes, Rey should be someone perfectly happy and capable of just fighting the dirtiest street fight ever.
That's what I mean. Trash goblin.
Yes, exactly. I didn't want to say trash goblin because I didn't want to steal your thing, but you're right. Like, this is like basic.
Oh, don't worry. I
logic
stole
and
it too. I didn't kill
human and experience influence people's behavior.
Yeah.
Circumstance influences behavior all the time. How is this not something she has, like, fought and killed for?
That would be so fucking funny. There we go. We're starting anime. We're actually just gonna do it correctly. And we're gonna have a trash goblin Rey and actually redo the sequels.
Still,
Do
her
it.
thought. Go ahead.
I was gonna say write a script. I'll fucking do stills. No, I won't. I can't promise shit like that. No.
Yeah, we'll just get a picture of a goblin, just Photoshop little hair buns on the back of his head.
Oh, there you go. I fucking love your thinking.
Still, her thoughts drifted back to Eliana. She was so pretty. Her red lipstick glowed in the light of her ship.
My brain
Like,
changed that to shit.
Like, you can tell that's what the intent here is.
Wait, hold on.
Still, her thoughts drifted back to Eliana. As much as she tried to push them out, she couldn't help her curiosity. Everything about her was fascinating. Her
That
ship,
fat
her
ass.
attitude, even that broken droid. She eventually found herself sitting outside eating as she watched Jakku's sun drop, occasionally watching ships leave the atmosphere. I wonder if one of those is the Fury.
Shut the fuck up.
So this is during Force Awakens when she's at her little
Yes.
house eating.
Yes, this is one in the opening, like, 3 or 4 minutes of Force Awakens.
I
when
definitely
Rey
got
is
that
introduced.
vibe from the movie. She was thinking about banging another chick.
No, see, it's a funny tie-in. It's retarded.
Let me check on my pizza.
Is that fucking cat gonna knock over my goddamn pizza?
It is close. All right. Her gaze was transfixed on the horizon, so much so she hadn't noticed the small spherical object that had been rolling in her general direction. It wasn't until a series of cautious yet inquisitive beeps rang in the air. Rey's attention snapped to the present. The object was a droid, one that rolled along the ground on its lower body. Okay,
But
why
can
did you
skip
change this from what was originally?
Yeah, you can just skip over all this. This is just the movie.
Yeah. Like, okay, hello, she said, looking confused. Can I help you? The droid beeped happily and wobbled in the spot. Ray could barely take out this variation of droid speak due to the sheer speed of which it was beeping. So she changed it from the movie to make it less interesting because she said BB-8 in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Why did you change this
And she didn't want to write it. Her fucking lazy fuck. Uncreative.
Or she just
fuck.
forgot.
Yes.
No,
Maybe
she didn't forget.
Perhaps she hasn't seen it in years and just forgot.
The droid bleeped happily and wobbled on the spot. Ray could barely make out this variation. Oh, sorry, I read it again. Hold on, slow down, she said, laying a hand on the droid. What do you mean, lost? The droid repeated what he said, albeit more slowly, as Ray requested. Still, fuck me with these commas. The way the panic and desperation seemed to seep into his synthetic language made it a bit trickier to follow. That was really fucking hard to read. Jesus. All right, your master is somewhere else. Sorry, I don't know why I'm suddenly turning into Barbie. All right, your master is somewhere else, and you have to wait for him? Ray asked. The droid beeped in affirmation. Ah, I see. Well, I don't know what waiting here for. Well, I do know what waiting here feels like, Ray replied, as her thoughts drifted elsewhere for a moment, before returning her attention to the droid.
All right, I'm back. Did I miss anything?
I thought you all were enraptured with my delivery because I suddenly turned into Barbie halfway through.
What do you mean lost? Okay, so where'd you get?
Hold on, slow down. That's Barbie.
I'm tour guide Barbie.
I'm Darth Sidious or Darth Barbie. I'd fuck with the Darth Barbie. Damn.
I know, right? Like Sith Lord Barbie.
Holy shit!
Limited time run.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
I gotta
one of those
go.
valuable ones.
So I gotta send a fucking email to Disney. Holy shit!
So it'd just be Darth Zana then.
Darthy girl.
To be fair, Darth Zana will cut a bitch. Like straight up.
Hell yeah. I see.
She made her own brother go insane, just without remorse.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me, but I said, she made her own brother, and I was like, no, they didn't fuck. No.
Mm-hmm.
It says, no, we're past that. Well, here. Oh, wait, no, I read it. You can read it again.
You read this line?
Yeah, all right, master is somewhere else, and you have to wait for him. Droid beeped. I see. Well, I know what it feels, or what waiting here feels like. Ray replied, her thoughts drifting elsewhere for a moment before returning her attention to the droid.
Do you think Ray pulls the Phineas and Ferb where it just ripples? It's her BB-8. Just...
I like to think that she completely wipes out and her eyes go unfocused as she thinks about that hot pussy. Well, there, she began running her hand over its head. Oh, now it's an it. It was a he a paragraph ago. I doubt he'll want to see you again with a broken antenna. Fuck you, tag your fucking... She doesn't tag it. With a careful motion, Ray adjusted the antenna to its original upright position. Better? That fucking reads...
Ow. Why? Why my sides?
That little...
on my sides.
That paragraph reads literally like a fucking script.
It does.
It does.
The droid chirped happily in confirmation. I may know someone who could help you, if she hasn't left the planet yet. Why don't we head to Nemo Outpost in the morning? If your master is anywhere, it's going to be there. And if not, I have a friend there who could find him. Droid process...
You mean the Sith? You mean OC?
Yes.
Oh, God.
The droid processed the information. Ordinarily, he would rather they find his master as soon as possible. Yet her logic seemed very agreeable. After a moment of processing, he let out a beep of affirmation. All right, who's speaking?
Yeah, like it was.
Is-
Oh, did we suddenly
Is Ray a
change to the
telepath?
droid?
Is Ray a telepath? Or
Nope.
actually, in this case, it would be a technopath, wouldn't it?
Technopath. Holy shit, that would be cool as fuck, though. I don't care about all her other random ass powers, and I'll bitch about them to the end of the death. But if Ray somehow turned out to be what was it? Techno.
A technopath?
Yeah, if she was a technopath, that'd be sick as shit. Coolest fucking character in Star Wars. If the Mary Soon changed, and that was just her only special power, that'd be sick as fuck.
Here, hold on. Here, play with your gnome. Here, go play with your gnome.
Well, so Cedar, when you're drawing our banner, just draw Clayton's cat attacking him.
I will. And the way you were saying that, you sounded like Kermit when you were like, "Here, go play with this."
Go on, play with little toy. Play with little toy, roadkill.
All right. Ray smiled and lifted the droid. What?
I'm just thinking of her put her like a big kid with a beach ball lifting up BB-8.
Who identified himself as BB-8 into the AT-AT. Traveling at night on Jakku was unwise. Native species and humanoids roamed at night and didn't much care for anything that breathed. She had a fair few scars from learning that lesson the hard way. Taking shelter at sundown was the only way to stay safe in this horrible place.
Or there
Hopefully,
Tusken
someone at
Raiders
the
on this
outpost could
planet
help
too.
them.
Yes, there are bad Arabs in this adaptation of Star.
It's not very progressive of you, Lily.
Um,
Get with the
No.
got a
times.
little bit more to get through.
All native species are unconditionally good.
No, actually, I'm going to point something out. So it's a little off topic, but kind of in the same vein of like Tusken Raiders. Is I watched a little bit, like a scene from the original Iron Man, and it was him blasting the fuck out of whatever Taliban or whatever was going on in the Middle East in the 2000s, and I was watching it and I'm like, oh my god, this is horrifying. After you've learned, like after all this time, and we've learned how America's treated that area, and I'm like, oh god, that seems like so offensive now. Honestly, almost.
Oh, awesome.
It's like just reading more into what was going on over there, to have a superhero go in a Marvel movie blasting terrorist looking dudes is fucking wild. I guess maybe it's because I wouldn't have seen it
they're
nowadays.
terrorists. They're terrorists terrorizing innocent people who was saving them.
That's
Yeah,
true.
they're not kind to just about anyone.
Yeah,
Well, okay, I guess
protected,
Iron Man.
we protected the
Like-
good people.
That's true. I don't think Iron Man was going off and drone striking children because they may or may not have been a high-ranking member. No.
I think those terrorists were actually part of the what do you call it, the 10 rings.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was like a thing.
Yeah,
It is something.
and then Shang-Chi just kind of swept it under the rug.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. Well, I guess it doesn't. It makes sense that now I look at the Middle Eastern wars, and they're really set off because of America, and just to see, actually,
just because of America, I don't know.
But
I guess Russia. I guess we started helping them for Russia.
no, there's a lot more to it than that. It's
Oh well, then ignore me.
It's a very complex topic, mostly because the Middle East is an area of the world that has, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, been in conflict with itself. Because there are about 10 different ethnicities and one ideology that's split in half. Islam has sort of been fighting and killing each other for years, and then World War II sort of happened, and then the Ottomans got it sort of under control,
right?
And then World War I happened, and the Ottomans fell from power, and the British came in and were like, yeah, so we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna make up the borders as we go.
But yeah, that's
I'm
a
like,
bare bones summary. It's a lot more complicated than that, but
I'm sorry, a whole fucking
basically-
movie was playing in my head while you were explaining that, and I had to come out of it.
basically it's the British's fault, not ours.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
We're just the ones that got stuck with the cleanup more than anything else.
Yeah, tell that to Hawk, and he'll just be like, "Okay, so."
Anyway, sorry to take such a dark fucking turn, but just.
All right. Eliana's day could have been better. The sight of a TIE interceptor speeding towards the ground and a death spiral certainly didn't help, and the strong force presence she felt inside it didn't help either. Oh, so we're acknowledging the fact that Finn should have been a Jedi. Huh.
Yeah! Oh, yeah, but of course, they'll never. I forgot what I was going to say anyway.
She ran towards it as it fell, taking note of the distance and expected a crash site being about 10 kilometers from the Fury. She reached out with the force and gripped the fighter, slowing its descent and redirecting it towards a sand dune. With a growl, she wrenched it out of its trajectory towards the dune, where it had landed with a thud. Holy shit.
Was that one sentence?
No, that's not one sentence. But the level of force power we're talking about here is insane.
Of course, yeah, she's gotta be so cool she can fucking whip a vehicle out of the sun. Out of
a
the sky.
death.
Oh my god.
She effectively had to fight gravity. Like the number of variables in this TIE interceptor death spiral, which is not what it was. It was like a first order TIE fighter. Is insane. Like the atmospheric pressure, the trajectory of its fall, how the fact that it's on fire, or the damage to the wings, altering how the atmosphere is affecting it. And on top of all that, gravity and momentum, she just reaches out, pulls it, and it falls where she wants it. Like, that's insane. Not that this is something that Jedi and Sith haven't done before. Like in the original Clone Wars animated series, Yoda reaches out and crushes two ships in the air. And in the Force Unleashed, the first game, you as the player, Star Killer, basically pull a Star Destroyer out of the sky. But the Star Destroyer was already falling, so you were just basically making it land where you wanted it to.
Oh yeah.
It didn't take the way it's written here, it's like, oh, this was just the slightest flick of her wrist.
Yeah.
Whereas any other circumstance, it's very clear that this takes effort on the Force user's part.
No, see, but that's why her Osu is so fucking cool, is that it takes effort for everyone else, but she's just so fucking good that she can do it with the flick of her wrist, bro.
She saw... Before she could relax, however, she saw a body get thrown from the cockpit and toward her. Panicking, she reached out and slowed the body down to a crawl, gently laying him in the sand a few hundred yards from her. Jesus. Okay, so we should assume this is Poe Dameron?
You know what this gives me the fucking vibes of? Her, going in and helping them and causing things to happen that happened in the movie. Gives me, the Lion King 1.5 thing.
Yes,
where it was
yeah.
Pumbaa that had a nasty fart was why all of the animals kneeled.
Oh, hey, everybody in the back is bowing. Yeah, we should bow too.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, oh yeah, because we were definitely looking at the back.
I mean, Lion King 1.5 is not a bad movie in and of itself. It's a very nice sort of coming of age story. The problem is that it takes place within the Lion King.
Yeah. Oh god, what a novel
What a
idea
movie,
though.
though.
Yeah, the whole reason
Sort of like
all those animals stacked on top of each other fell down was because Timon knocked them down.
And not that they're stacked too high.
anyway.
Nope, it was all Timon's fault.
Aliana.
So
Oh,
now
sorry.
she just reaches out and stops someone flying cold, basically, or slows him down and gently floats him down into the.
That's a common thing actually.
That's an
For Jedi.
acceptable feat, just not usually with people that are thrown from speeders, from ships that are falling from the sky.
I think it was almost a pretty common thing to happen in the Clone Wars TV show.
What, people getting like
Well,
forced
caught.
Yeah.
Force caught by stuff. I guess maybe not thrown out of a.
But generally when it happens, and there's one like notable one when Anakin on the second invasion of Geonosis, when Anakin and Ahsoka throw Rex off the wall.
Yeah.
Like, they're down to catch him, but he's not moving at the same. He's not moving at the speed that this body would have to be moving because inertia is a property of matter. And an object in motion wants to stay in motion. So this thing has to be thrown at equivalent speed from what the ship was going, which is insane. Anyway, Aliana rushed out towards the body, the force both augmenting her speed and keeping her steps light upon the sand. Before long, she swiftly skidded to a halt in front of the collapsed figure. A man lying in the sand before her looked like he went through absolute hell, but her senses told her that he was at least alive. Perhaps the shocks of being jettisoned from the cockpit simply knocked him unconscious. At the same time, this one wasn't the force presence she felt from high in the air. What was more interesting, though, was that he didn't look like a man who had any business being in a TIE Interceptor.
Oh, it's not Finn. It's fucking Poe.
It's Poe, yeah.
Oh, she's the one that saved Poe. Oh my god, I hate this worse.
Yes. Poe miraculously coming back in the movie? A-okay. Poe being saved by Lilly Orchards OC? Arguably really worse.
Bad. Yeah. I guess it's more of an explanation than the movie. It's just a cringe explanation.
True enough.
Yeah. Donning her cloak. Oh, wait.
Her eyes widened in realization. This had to be the Resistance pilot, the one who knew the location of Luke Skywalker. How the fuck does she know this?
Yeah, I get what?
Like putting like she was there after the First Order left the village, so she knows. Oh wait, no. The old guy managed to tell her with his dying breath.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that. So but why would she come to this conclusion?
The script told her. What's that? Is that the script lying in the sand?
She quickly lifted him up by the shoulders under his knees and ran off towards the Fury. If her assumptions were correct, he needed to be out of the plain sight as soon as possible. She got him on board and into the medical bay, ordering 2 VR8 to tend to his wounds, alert her comlink if he woke up. If the pilot was on Jakku, the pilot's droid likely was as well. She didn't know about the droid.
Oh yeah,
that one I remember. She does not know about BB-8.
Her goals is that donning her cloak. Oh yeah, donning her cloak. Ariana, I'm not going to say it correctly. Ariana rushed out of the Fury and made her way to Nima Outpost once more. If the droid was anywhere for miles, it would be the most likely place for it to turn up. Most droids were programmed to seek out populaces that were not when none were present. Sorry, most droids were programmed to seek out populaces when none were present. Her
Okay, then
goal,
why? Hold on. Why did he approach Rey at all?
yeah,
Like, and C-3PO and R2-D2 get in a fight and split up in the middle of the desert.
yeah.
Like, they don't move towards any sort of civilization. They have no idea where anyone is.
They both get picked up by Jawas. Besides, how would you know? Do they pull up Google Maps in their droid heads?
I guess.
Her goals for the outpost were threefold. 1. Find the droid and get him back to the pilot. Why? 2. Find the force presence that was with him in the interceptor and determine if it was friend or foe. 3. If at all possible, keep Rey out of all of this. Her general weakness for a pretty face aside. You have to fucking kill me. She sensed Rey's innate talent in the force. She knew the First Order would be on top of this entire planet before long if they knew a powerful force sensitive was here. The Knights of Ren proved quite inept, but they would act on a potential new recruit if they had found one. My brain did not absorb any of that. What the fuck?
I didn't either, but I don't think it was anything worth absorbing. So, finding the droid, getting him back to his pilot. Okay. Understandable. How do you know about the droid?
Why does she want it? Is it explained before why she wants to get the droid back to the pilot?
No, and
Is it
even
explained-
the chapter basically opens with her questioning why the hell she's doing any of this. Why the hell she's searching for it?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Because, like, oh, I promised a dying man I would help him, but I don't fucking have to keep that promise. Why am I doing this?
I know, right?
Yes, why is a Sith doing noble things?
The plot commanded me to.
It's not even why is the Sith doing noble things, is why is she doing anything? Why?
Yeah.
Like at the base,
here?
she actively thinks she shouldn't be doing it, but she's still doing it. It's like, yes, you're talking one tier above. This is base tier.
Like, Sith can be noble, but in the end, it's always self-serving. Like, their noble actions are purely because they can get something out of it.
Oh, yeah.
2. Find the force presence that was with him in the interceptor and determine it was friend or foe. Why? Again, this is based off the assumption that he's the Resistance pilot, and not, a Knight of Ren that Kylo sent to kill her.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. 3, and if at all possible, keep Rey out of this. Why do you care? She's a scavenger.
No, she's hot pants. See? What the fuck is that awkward sentence? Her general weakness
for a pretty face aside.
She had one conversation with her and now she's in love. Because that's how
That's
it
just
works.
terribly worded. It's her weakness for a pretty face aside. She sensed right. No. Okay, so these are wrong. She sensed Rey's innate force talent. Her general weakness aside, though, she did not want them to know she was there, or she didn't want to drag her into trouble or bring trouble to her. Despite being around, despite her saying her weakness for a pretty face, it's despite that I want to be around this person, I shouldn't be. But she doesn't bring that out here. And so it just doesn't make any fucking sense. What the fuck? I'm so confused.
And apparently the Knights of Ren, who are just the literally incompetent, just as their leader is
literal asswipes,
would absolutely jump at the chance to recruit someone else.
Oh no, she can't let the filthy straight boys on her lesbian princess. They will want to recruit her.
All right, how did she know about the Knights of Ren? I thought Kylo was the only one she knew about.
Knights of your mum. Okay, no, I'm gonna let's go one more layer down. Why are Knights of Ren? That's
That's
it.
a good question.
That's a good fucking question.
That's a very good question. The implication in the first movie is that the Knights of Ren were other Jedi who agreed with Kylo and left to be trained by Snoke.
No, but see,
Then the Last Jedi happens, and we don't have time for that because we have to get through all our set pieces.
we have to have forced sex between Rey and Kylo.
Jesus.
Oh my god, I was sitting there and I was watching it, and I was like, this is such, like, literarily, I had just, been through AP literature or whatever, and I'm like, this is the most blatant literature fucking I have seen in my life. Because in books, they're like, they looked at each other or they brushed their hands against each other is actually code for they fucked like rabbits. So just to see it in a kid's thing, I'm like, what the fuck?
Little did she know that a kindred spirit was slowly making his way to Nemo Outpost, much the same attitude. Wow.
Sand. Oh, wait. Was there anything?
Hold on. I have an issue. I take issue with this sentence.
Little did she know a kindred spirit was slowly making his way to Nima Outpost with much of the same attitude.
Who's speaking?
Not Poe, Finn.
Who is speaking here?
Is this no, this is the narrator. This is the narrator.
There hasn't been a narrator before.
I know. This is a disembodied narrator.
Just, hello, I'm your narrator.
Yeah.
No.
This is the voice of the theater.
Sand. Hey
guys, Anakin hates sand. Remember how Anakin hated sand?
Anakin hates sands.
Sand for miles. Sand as far as the eye could see. Sand mountains and valleys. Sand reflecting the light to make you think there was water, only to rip it away like a cruel mistress of fate that it is. Like the cruel mistress of fate that it is. This was Finn's life now. Oh my god. So Finn's just pathetic. Jesus.
Oh no. What? Gotta make the black man pathetic? That's not very cash money of you, Lily Pete.
Especially considering the arguably the OC is, a person of color.
Oh yeah, but see, she's a lesbian, and that's the real distinction.
This was Finn's life now. No First Order, no Poe, only the sand to toy with him, until his inevitable, horrifying death. It seemed that fate intended to punish him for refusing to kill in the name of a tyrannical regime. If the price for being honorable was a gruesome death, no wonder there was so much evil in the galaxy. Part of him was wishing he was back on the Star Destroyer. At least there was water there. Okay.
It makes it sound like he's taking a leisurely fucking stroll down the park.
Just a little bit, yeah. And he's complaining about the humidity is up, so it feels like it's 98 degrees when it's actually 95.
Wait, did he just say that the humidity was fucking up in the goddamn desert?
No.
Oh.
I'm drawing a comparison.
Oh, okay. I thought Lily was that fucking stupid.
Like, the way this is written, it makes it seem like he's just bitching about something that's not really a problem.
Yeah.
Which, it implies that he's really just a pathetic person.
Mm-hmm. Goddamn.
There was also the certainty of death, and the knowledge that he would have been selling his soul to something truly horrid. After everything he saw in Tuano, he would rather take his chances with death, but that didn't make it any less terrifying. Okay.
Yeah, it would have been nice to really get more about Finn on all of that. Too bad they decided, fuck Finn, he shouldn't be the main fucking character.
Like, how he broke years of indoctrination, or how he...
You know what? Fuck it. I'll say it. You know how to make... You want to know how to make Rey better? You fucking make her a secondary character. Yeah, she is the deuteragonist to fucking Finn. He's the main mojo. Just fucking make it. Like, goddamn, like, it makes me so upset too because the progressives made it, and the progressives want good representation, but they absolutely just ditched the first opportunity for like a black man being a hero outside of any context of race. You know, like a really great way of diversity. It doesn't bring up that because of his race, he is any sort of outsider to the world. He just is. And then he
Yeah,
gets
exactly.
to be a great Jedi that came from a really bad background. But hey, that doesn't define me. That would connect with, you know, teenage black boys. Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna walk back on that. I don't know what the fuck I said on that last part. I'm hot as balls, guys. Don't take what I say seriously.
A few times he could have sworn he saw a TIE silencer fly overhead, but it never seemed to stay in the air for very long. It just circled around him and then vanished over a dune. It was certainly bigger than a silencer, but shaped in a rather similar fashion. He was starting to get nervous with the ship flying above him like a bird of prey every hour. Or if it's the first order, just kill me already, he grumbled, watching it take to the sky and fly toward him again. To his surprise, the ship actually landed down in front of him. Panic started to well up inside him quickly as he realized he had nowhere to go at this point, and he had no energy to fight. Any attempt would likely get him blasted by the ship's weapons. That panic only worsened when a hooded figure came down the loading ramp toward him, a canteen in their hand. Are you all right? A woman's voice came.
Oh my
Came
god!
a woman's
Stop
voice
having
from
her
beneath the
interact with everybody.
Oh my god, guys,
yeah.
it's George Washington.
Like, why this? Why here? Why now? Why are we involved? So is Aliana basically just gonna take the plot of Force Awakens, remove Han Solo and Chewbacca from
Oh no,
their
there's
introduction,
you
and
fucking
just
know that they're
proceed
gonna be
forward
there.
with the Gang of Three?
No, it's Lily Pete. You know they can't fucking pass up the opportunity to shit on Han.
Probably not.
Yeah, I bet Lily is gonna absolutely drag him and make him look like a fucking idiot. Because she's like, oh, she divorced Leia or some bullshit.
Finn relaxed slightly and only felt more confused. If this was the First Order, he'd certainly gotten the most cordial knight he'd ever met. What? I said, are you all right? The woman asked, taking her hood and pulling it down. Finn was confused. The woman looked like a storm. Oh my
How?
god.
Because she's black.
Did
Oh
she just
my
imply that
God.
all the stormtroopers are black?
Yes! Yes, that is the implication here.
What
The
the
woman
fuck?
looked like a stormtrooper, or rather, every
God.
stormtrooper he'd ever seen with their helmet off, minus the mandatory buzz cut. In fact, she was actually quite pretty. What?
Yeah, I agree with the part.
Is it because the stupid fucking weird maybe love interest girl that was also a runaway was black? But there were also white people there.
Because they're slaves. Get it? The stormtroopers are slaves.
I guess if we want to, I guess we can roll with that narrative. I don't think it works very well in the context of Star Wars as a whole,
Guess
but
the First Order took over a planet populated exclusively by black humans.
Yeah, it was called Erafika.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit, fuck. God
Yeah.
damn.
Wakanda 5.
You're the worst to come out that the fucking.
I'm glad one of us is enjoying themselves.
This is fucking wild.
Here, she said, reaching out and handing him a canteen. It's water. Finn's
Bitch,
worries
drink it.
Finn's worries and fears were almost immediately forgotten as he seized the canteen, opened it, taking a long gulp from the cold water inside. It's true what they said. The closer you
And
were to
took.
water, the worse your thirst became.
No, So, as he sees the canteen and opened it, taking a long gulp of the cold. No, it's sees the canteen,
Jesus.
opened it, and took a long sip. And what a cute baby! What is baby yelling about?
That was not my cat. That was my ringtone.
Is your
One
ringtone
moment.
a cat? That's so fucking funny.
I can't get over the fact that apparently all the stormtroopers are black.
No.
Yeah, Lilly
Google being
Orchard
dumb.
really wants to push
Also,
for the
it's
slavery
one of the
allegories.
it's one of the default ringtones. I keep forgetting to change it because it's actually somewhat annoying and
Yeah, that's a cat.
shocking if you're not expecting it.
Yeah. You're like, what the fuck, cat? Is that your pizza?
No, my pizza is in front of me. I just haven't eaten it yet.
Oh, okay. Yes. Here, I'll read it.
Tempts me with its smell wafting into my nose on
The
occasion.
cock reads. Wait, no. Cloaked stranger's lips. Oh wait, no. Okay. Here I'll read. Finn's worries and fears were almost immediate. Oh yeah, it is. Take a gulp. It was true. What the?
I like how Finn is not suspicious all of this person. He has no comfort. Like, she looks like a stormtrooper without the buzz cut. So, but is immediately okay with it because water.
Look, like, honestly, I don't fault him for that. A person that's absolutely just thirsty ain't gonna be working. You'd be like, water, live. Also, don't give a person that's dying from dehydration cold water. It will shock their system, and it's also harder to absorb. Anyway,
yes.
A cloak.
Kill them and take sips, not gulps.
Yeah. The cloaked stranger's lips quirked in amusement, an amused, lopsided grin. Careful now, swallow that too fast and you might throw it back up. Fuck that. Fun, didn't verbally respond, but began taking noticeably smaller gulps. You have a name? The woman asked. Shut up. Finn took the canteen away from his mouth and wiped his lips. His stormtrooper number was immediately called to mind before he remembered the name that Poe had given him on the ship. But he was identifying as Finn in the internal monologue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Finn has developed a full-scale sense of self.
Yeah.
After being identified as a number from,
well, I don't mean that I would believe it that he said Finn. He was like, oh my god, I love that, and will cling on it to dear life. But he should have been calling himself his number in his head if he still identified with the head. And this was the first time he finally accepted that identity.
It could be a schema. Just it's what immediately came to mind. Like, oh, Finn is.
When I say butt, you see sex, yeah.
Yeah. Aliana smile. Jesus. Okay.
Eliana. Fuck you.
God damn it.
Rihanna smiled back, glancing back at the Fury. What are you doing all the way out here in the dunes? Finn shrugged. Just chilling. Coming up with a lie on the spot. Speeder crash. Why? Alania fucking knew that he was lying to her because she's just that fucking cool. Oh, she could sense that he was lying. But a single unarmed man was no danger to her. She sounds like a fucking mom. They're like, did you eat the cookies? And you're like, no. And she's like, tell mommy now. Well, would you like a lift to Nema Outpost? I was just about to head there to meet a friend of mine. Would certainly be better than dying of thirst in the desert. Right. I don't suppose you offer transport off-world, Finn asked. It's just not how my brain would do any of this rhythm of how they're speaking.
No.
B, don't suppose you offer. Don't suppose
Any
you
like
offer transport
Finn,
off world.
like I would have written this as like any chance you can get me off world.
Yeah, there we go. That's better. It's just like it feels like the sentences are reversed. Like I know you could properly make a sentence with what is it? The predicate at the start.
Mm-hmm.
With the second thought first, but like it feels like all of the things she's saying, the second thought is first. Like all the sentences orders, they need to be switched.
Yeah. Eliana shook her head. Probably not where you're going, but maybe there's someone who can. Besides, I have unfinished business on Jakku. Like what? I'm looking for a droid, a BB unit. Finn scoffed. Everyone's looking for BBB units.
Beep, beep, beep.
Okay. Eliana turned back around, eyeing him suspiciously. Are they now?
Shut the fuck up,
What?
bitch. Damn.
The fuck?
I'm looking for a droid, a BB unit. Everyone's looking for BB units. He wasn't looking for BB-8. No, he was. No, he wasn't. What the fuck?
Yeah, like him and Poe escaped. They were probably gonna go down to pick up BB-8.
I don't remember Poe explaining that plan to.
I don't remember that either, but maybe
No. Finn just wanted to get back to, or no, Poe wanted to get back to the Resistance, and so that was what Finn was trying to take. There wasn't anything about BB-8 because BB-8 just accused him of stealing, and he's like, "Wait, what? What the fuck? What's going on? I'm with the Resistance."
Yeah. Uh-oh. Finn had said too much. He swallowed nervously as he tried to come up with another lie. I heard a Resistant pilot mention it a couple days ago. Eliana's eye narrowed harshly, and Finn became even more nervous. This woman was frightening.
Just, look, Finn. Here, if a whiny bitch is coming up to you, making all these demands, being condescending to your face, to be like, "Bitch, I'm gonna explain shit to you," and just fucking leave.
And had a glare that he honestly swore could pierce through his soul. I think you should know, Finn, that lying to me isn't a wise idea. Eliana said, her lips curling into a smile. It may just be the last thing you ever do. Why? Why are you threatening him? For what purpose? He's already given you the information he knows, and you know it. So, what the fuck are you, like, why threaten him?
Why are you so interested in it, Rihanna? Like,
yeah.
Why is this so fucking important that this random stranger is lying to you? Oh my god. If God forbid anyone say an untruth in your presence. This man knows nothing.
I'm just careful about who I share personal information with, Finn said, feeling an oppressive cloud of fear drape over his mind. All at once, he's realized that Eliana's OC's intimidating presence wasn't entirely natural. Something was screwing with his head and filling him with terror. He remembered feeling something similar back in the village in Kylo Ren's presence. It did feel different, however. Better. Worse? It was hard to tell. Then, as if there were a bad head rush, it lifted. He backed up at Eliana, whose sinister smile was replaced with a sweet and friendly one. Jesus. So, Finn comes to the realization that Eliana's screwing with his mind, and then just is like, oh wait!
Eliana, I know your weakness. You're worried that you'll never be as good as Darth Vader. Is basically what fucking Finn did to her.
All right, she said, turning around, beckoning for him to follow. And why not say motioning?
No, see, she's trying to have sex with Finn. That's why she beckons.
I thought she was space lesbian.
Space lesbian fluid. If you're a demi-lesbian, you're actually just straight.
Finn walked up the ramp to the ship briskly, feeling it unwise to keep Aliana waiting. As he stepped inside, his eyes wandered around the interior design. It was similar to his old life as the exterior. It was as similar to his old life as the exterior was. No, it would have. This ship should have a completely different internal layout.
Mm-hmm. This is an ancient. Besides, if they're not from the same assembly line, they're not apt to look the same.
Yeah, exactly. The entire ship looked like a rundown first order Corvette.
Corvette.
Okay, a Corvette?
Is there a second meaning to that?
Oh,
No,
God. Let me
like
look it up. Wikipedia.
like a Corvette class ship is it's basically a destroyer of modern naval ships.
Okay, it
There
is
is a Corvette. It's that ship that was at the start of A New Hope.
Okay, I
the
looked at the
start of
battleships.
casing.
That makes
Like
sense.
they're small and
It's
but
a
they're
small
not-
warship, traditionally smallest
Yeah.
class of vessel, the proper warship. Oh, okay. For a second there, I thought she was putting the hood down on her fucking spaceship.
no. Meanwhile, but everything else, the Fury class interceptor was not a Corvette class.
I don't even like. How do you even know?
It was a ship to ship combat vessel primarily. It's basically a fight. It's a fighter disruptor. Is what they were used for. They were the snub fighters meant to who do quick destruction runs of enemy targets, or in the case of the Fury class, as that you have in Scotor,
Store.
in the MMO, it's meant for intership for fighter combat. It's essentially a large fighter support,
Oh, okay.
which
Yeah.
is not what Corvette class ships would be for.
Yeah, there's also another problem with Finn comparing the interior of that ship to the First Order. So, the First Order were from the remnants of the Empire, and the Empire itself came from the Republic, whereas the Sith Empire was its own completely different thing altogether.
Yeah, so it should be completely alien.
Like the layout should be entirely alien to him.
Kitty. Kitty.
I don't suppose I'm not First Order, Aliana interrupted. This ship here is older than them and the Galactic Empire.
And still functions perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't trying to assume anything, said hastily. Aliana sighed. Pardon me, it's just been a trying day. Tell me about it, Finn said sympathetically. Ah, hello there. There came a mechanical voice that made Finn jump out of his skin. Okay, we've already got... Ah, he screamed, quickly turning to see a droid standing right behind him. Oh, come on, man. What are you doing sneaking up on people like that? Why do we need the detail that he screamed? Like, jumping out of his skin implies that he might have...
Yeah.
It would be up to the interpretation of the reader, which is perfectly fine. Like, leaving something like that up to the reader is perfectly fine writing. You don't need to describe every single detail of every
You
single
just
thing.
say it's okay to use said.
Yes.
It is really okay.
Quickly turning around to see a droid standing right behind him. Oh, come on, man. What are you doing sneaking up on people like that? That's enough. Like, jumping out of his skin, and then this line of dialogue communicates the message that Finn was frightened by the droid's presence.
It's like Lilly Orchard has a fucking word minimum that she needs to hit. while she's writing these because she like repeats her ideas over and over and over.
It's like this feels like a college essay writing.
Yes.
Like you need to hit a certain word count. So you end up just reiterating ideas and saying them in different ways.
Basically.
But the problem is when it comes to storytelling, it makes things A, repetitive, but B, it makes them boring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my apologies, 2VR8 responded sincerely. Scaring you was not my intention. I am pleased to accommodate any guest of Aliana fixed 2V 2V with a murderous glare. Any guest of Lady Benikos. 2V quickly corrected himself. Would you like a beverage, a hot meal, perhaps one of our fancy throw pillows? What?
Once again, he would not call her Darth Amorosa. It would be
Exactly.
Lady Amorosa.
He would
That's
call
how
her.
subtitling works.
He would call her either Lady Beneko or Lady Amorosa. There would be no. And that way, and honestly, that would be easier for Aliana to pass off. Be like, Amorosa is just my last name.
Yeah.
Finn, despite getting over his initial shock, looked visibly uncomfortable. No, I'm good. Very well, sir. Let me know if you need anything. With that, 2V turned around and walked back down the hall from where he came. Excuse him, Aliana said, making her way to the cockpit. He likes to be helpful. I guess, Finn said, following Aliana. So, Nima outpost, you said? Indeed, she confirmed, prepping the ship for launch. You sure the locals won't mind the sight of a first order looking kind of ship? Yes. Perhaps they will, but I've already had more than my fill of walking in this damn desert, Aliana said, glaring at the sand outside. Besides, this whole planet might have to deal with actual first order ships before long. Why is that? Do you know anything? I'm very careful about who I share personal information with. Okay, fair enough. Finn accepted, sitting down beside her. Before long, the Fury was.
Sorry, keep going.
Before long, the Fury was in the air. All right, next stop, Nima Outpost. Aliana said with a wry smile.
Just what I was going to say is the way they say, I'm very careful about who I share personal information with, instead of just saying no. Like, why is that? Do you know anything?
No.
No.
Instead of Aliana simply
I'm careful about. Yeah.
Aliana simply looked at him from her seat, and with like a mischievous grin or a sly grin, she just said no.
But also, she implicates herself because it says personal information. She could have said, I'm very careful who I share information with. But, like, that's just passively knowing, like, a rumor. But she's like, personal information, because it's personal to her what's going on.
Yeah.
So,
implies
dumbass.
that she has personal stake in it, which is odd because we have the opening of this chapter. She's like, why am I doing this again?
Man, fuck them bitches.
Was tiring and painful. I don't like this. All right. Ray laid back on her hammock as she thought about the woman she'd spent most of the evening with. She'd been giving her funny looks the entire time, always smiling and her blushing whenever their eyes met. She was kind of cute, especially when that dark freckled face lit up with a smile. That burgundy eyeshadow making her smile pop even more.
Shut the fuck up about her makeup. Nobody cares.
She'd quite enjoyed the evening. It was nice being able to talk to someone who didn't want something from her. Well, she had the hyperdrive coil, but she didn't have to cook for her or spend the evening indulging her. Once her business had been concluded, Aliana had welcomed Ray into her home just to socialize. She'd asked her about herself, indulged her love of mechanics, and been so easy to talk to, easy to get along with. It was almost like she had a friend. It was nice. She thought as she rolled over and pulled her thin blanket over herself. Wow, okay, hello.
And in the
What
whole
is all this?
I don't even know what. She has the hots for Aliana.
I guess, but this feels like it should be a
2
chapter
sentences.
ago.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this should be in the first chapter. Why is it here at the end when we've had
It's-
all of this plot progression?
Yeah.
To remind you that she's still thinking about her.
Hey
Her
guys,
This
being
implies that
lesbians with this
it's
person is the
Ray's
selling
thoughts.
point.
Like, the way this is written implies that it's Ray's thoughts before she meets BB-8.
oh yeah, because she's not even thinking about all of that bullshit. Damn.
Okay, I have another question. Okay, so Eliana saved, or she saved Poe. No, not Poe. Finn. Keep getting them
Yeah.
mixed up.
She did both.
She saved
Okay.
both.
Okay, so she saved Finn, gave him water. So how does that lead into the Force Awakens when he shows up at that little outpost, and then he just goes for the first source of water he finds, which happens to be like a pig trough.
Oh, it's the power of pussy NVC.
Well, it doesn't
Fucking
matter.
Rihanna has Finn, and she wants to go see her girlfriend. So that's how they're gonna meet exclusively through Ariana.
Yeah. Or Finn's going to run across Ray, who will, by sheer coincidence, who will get her fight scene, and then, because really the pig trough, the fact that Finn drinks from the pig trough is just a joke.
Yeah, it is.
He-
It's just a gag.
Damn. Okay. It's just a gag. The important plot point during that scene is that Finn sees Ray kick the ass of Ungar Plutt's henchman. And that scene will probably remain the same.
Basically, yeah, he's got to stop and stare in utter beholdment
Yeah.
of her not needing no man to rescue her.
Yeah, he's going to see BB-8 and he's going to interact with Ray, and they're both, and Aelion is going to find them both and basically take them off world.
Yeah.
Or an alternate thing, and if this was a good fan fiction, self-insert fan fiction, this is what would happen. The First Order strikes and hits the Fury, destroying it, forcing the plot to progress. Like isolating, like robbing Aeliana of something she has very clearly put time. Her and her family have clearly spent time and effort maintaining and being like, it's a family heirloom. Like the loss of that would be very impactful to a character. Now, she may not have necessarily a lot of thoughts on it at that moment, but later on, it would be a moment, a great character moment, where she just sort of has this breakdown or gets angry at the fact that she lost this precious thing that her family had kept for thousands of years.
Yeah, but that takes thought and caring. So this is stupid indulgence, and I don't even know why it went on for so long. And then, of course, if you check the comments, people are like, "This was so good." Yeah, you never ever fucking judge your writing ability on the fucking comments, because you can take an absolute shit on a screen, and people will tell you it was a diamond.
It was great, but the other thing is that Lilly is notorious for editing her comment section. Both on YouTube, and I guarantee you on AO3.
Yep, because you can delete them.
Yeah.
Pretty easily.
So
and if you're creative with big people,
I'd be willing to bet anyone that read this and told her this is garbage, deleted, blocked.
Yep. It makes me feel better about the silly fan fiction I was writing over 2020 while I was stuck at home. And I'm like, this is fucking trash. I mean, it was still trash, but it's not this trash. Damn.
What kind of fan fiction was it?
I can't tell you. That's embarrassing.
Well, what franchise was it over?
No, it was Skyrim.
Skyrim?
Yeah.
Anyway, um,
I'm trying to imagine what it's supposed to be.
Oh.
proceeding onward, so Cedar doesn't die from embarrassment. Thus, we would never have her company again.
Imperial Stormtrooper / fiction.
Imperial Stormtrooper / fiction.
Stormcloak, whatever. Imperial Stormcloak / fiction.
No, it's
That's
even
the thing,
more
but-
sinful.
But, thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for wandering on into this tavern. We hope you'll wander back. And we will see you all next time.
Yeah, take care.
Goodbye.